Alexa Lavoie reporting for Rebel News. And recently, I received a call about an incident that allegedly took place in Montreal at the Sophie-Sucré Bakery on St. Lawrence Street. A woman told me she had noticed an advertisement outside for coffee and croissants and decided to step inside that morning. She was wearing a Star of David necklace and says she was greeted in a strange manner by an employee who allegedly remarked, "Hey, have you seen the sign outside?" The woman reportedly apologized, went back outside, and saw a notice stating, "We boycott Israel and all complicit companies," along with another fundraising sign for Gaza. Feeling uncomfortable and unwelcome, she decided to leave and says she was left shocked by the encounter. This individual wishes to remain anonymous, but a colleague decided to speak out on her behalf.
So a colleague of mine who was in our place of business decided to go to a next door neighbor to purchase something to have for breakfast, a coffee and a croissant. And when she entered, she was greeted by someone who said, "Hey, do you know where you are? Did you look at the sign on our door?" And so she was a bit taken aback by what was said. And when she went outside, she saw, a free Gaza end the genocide poster on the door. And she took that to be, a sign that she wasn't welcome in the establishment, and she just left. She was wearing a small Star of David necklace, which obviously triggered a negative sort of response or a presumption on the part of the shopkeepers that somebody who's wearing a Star of David ought to maybe think twice before walking in, because the subtext is they're not welcome. So I was very, very shaken by that, to hear that something like that's happening right on my block, in my city, on my block. It's not okay.
So obviously the establishment denied what happened, but when you walk in, and same outside of the business, you can see so many flyers, free Palestine, or boycott Israel, boycott the companies related to Israel or probably Israelis. How do you feel about it? Because same if they denied, obviously their business is really involved in activism.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with free speech at all. The issue I have, my own personal thoughts on Gaza maybe don't correspond with the establishments, but I'm for free speech. However, these are the same people that tell you we have no problem with Jews, it's just Israel or Zionism. This woman is neither Israeli, she's not wearing an Israeli flag, she's wearing a small Star of David, and which is just a simple Jewish symbol, many centuries old, that is neither a uniform of the Israeli army, or in no way, shape, or form is a symbol of being a Zionist necessarily, or anything but maybe a Jewish person. So, if people who are taking a very anti-Israel stand are very quick to say that this has nothing to do with Jews, just the Israeli army or the Israeli government, well, what they did this morning to my friend and my colleague flies in the face of that.
Why do you think it's important for you to speak out?
Because when it comes down to a personal thing like that, I'm a shopkeeper as well on this street. We serve every community, from the wonderful nuns who have their convent just down the road to me. I get people of all faiths. I get people of all political stripes, from all faiths and all political points of view. We don't talk politics in the store. I'll talk if somebody brings up the subject, but we do not bring this down to personal attacks on people, or making people feel more or less welcome because of what they're wearing. I get people wearing keffiyehs and Free Palestine, and I would never make them feel anything but welcome in my establishment, no matter my political views. We have to separate out the politics and the media from what happens on the street when we're dealing with people. You know, you don't know what you cannot make an assumption that somebody coming in is trying to make a political statement to you or do anything but be a patron of your business. We don't have to bring religion or our politics into that mix. It's not suitable, it's not normal, and it's totally out of place, especially in Montreal, where there's people of so many different faiths, languages. You have to have a vivre ensemble here, and no matter what happens in the world or on the media, you do not bring that into your commerce when you're dealing with the public.
Do you have any concern? Because we are seeing recently an increase of anti-Semitic crimes. We are seeing people being harassed, receiving threats, or being not welcome in certain places. Do you have any concern?
Yeah, the concern is that the government, whether it's the police or the politicians, in my opinion, are not making a hard enough stand with actions and not just words when these things happen. Because then it's a green light to people to push further. I mean, people will push until they're hard stopped on these things. So when they're almost tacitly given approval to do things and behave in a way in public that's causing them to, it's emboldening them. The passivity of the police and the politicians is emboldening people, and I fear that the trajectory we're on is going to lead to worse outcomes than we've already seen.
To verify the story, I went to the bakery myself wearing both a Star of David necklace and a Bring the Hostages Home pin to see how I will be received. The employee who served me was not the one allegedly involved in the incident. When I asked to meet the staff member who was present that morning, another woman came forward. She was, in fact, identified by the Jewish customer as the person she had interacted with. The employee denied the allegation, though perhaps that is unsurprising given that cameras were present. I gave her the opportunity to share her side of the story. Il y a quelqu'un qui s'est présenté avec une étoile de David dans le cou, voulait seulement qu'un café. Et elle s'est fait répondre « Hey, vous n'avez pas vu l'insigne dans la fenêtre? »
Ça se peut pas. Ça n'arriverait jamais ici.
Donc, vous êtes en train de dire que cette dame est en train de mentir.
Ça ne se produirait pas chez nous, ça.
Pourtant,
on ne refuserait jamais du service à quelqu'un.
C'est drôle, vous avez boycott Israël et les produits d'Israël.
Oui, on boycotte certaines actions du gouvernement israélien.
Mm-hmm. Mais cette dame-ci s'est vraiment sentie inconfortable?
Jamais on ne refuserait du service à quelqu'un. Jamais, jamais, jamais. Ça, à moins qu'il y ait comme de la violence. Est-ce que vous êtes ensemble? Non? OK. Je veux pas des caméras dans mon magasin. Alors, je vais vous demander de sortir.
Bien, moi, je vais avoir une explication.
Vous n'avez pas mon autorisation de me filmer.
OK, mais vous avez quand même
Vous n'avez pas mon autorisation de me filmer.
Certaines discriminations.
Vous devez arrêter de me filmer maintenant.
Est-ce que les personnes juives et israéliennes sont les bienvenues dans votre établissement?
Absolument. Si vous continuez à me filmer
même
sans mon
s'ils sont zionistes?
Je vais téléphoner à la police.
Même s'ils sont zionistes, madame?
Si quelqu'un est violent avec nous, peu importe.
Mais cette dame-là n'était pas violente, madame. Elle est juste rentrée pour un café.
Je suis harcelée dans mon magasin au 3770 boulevard Saint-Laurent. Je suis en train de me faire harceler et me filmer sans mon consentement. 2 personnes, une femme et un homme.
Ça n'explique pas, madame, pourquoi vous discriminez les gens. Vous dites que vous le faites pas, mais pourtant, on a un témoin. Madame, je suis journaliste, tout le monde me connaît.
Il refuse de s'en aller.
Madame, je suis journaliste, tout le monde me connaît. Alexa Lavoie de Rebel News. Tout le monde me connaît, madame. Donc, je vous demande encore, ça va être votre version contre la sienne dans le reportage.
On ne refuserait jamais du service à quelqu'un, à moins qu'il y ait une raison qu'ils aient été agressifs, violents ou qu'ils aient créé un environnement inconfortable. Je n'obligerai jamais un staff de chez nous à servir quelqu'un qui est violent avec eux. Donc, je ne sais pas qu'est-ce qui est arrivé dans cette situation. Est-ce que vous avez des excuses à faire à cette dame qui s'est présentée ce matin et qui a été reçue de manière Vous êtes en train de me dire une version d'une histoire que je n'ai aucune connaissance et aucune preuve. Donc, je ne peux pas continuer cette conversation avec vous. Je vous ai demandé 3 fois d'arrêter de me filmer.
Still, as you can see from images of the bakery, its windows, walls, and interior are covered with signs referencing Free Palestine and other protest-related posters. The business clearly promotes an activist and political stance, one that some customers may find intimidating. Freedom of expression is a protected right, but when expression crosses into discrimination, it becomes illegal under the Charter of Rights and Freedom, which explicitly prohibits discrimination based on religion. I will let you draw your own conclusions from both sides of the story. What is undeniable, however, is the rise in anti-Semitic incidents across Montreal. It remains crucial to report and denounce harassment, intimidation, and discrimination wherever it occurs. If you have information or experiences to share, feel free to contact me at alexandra@ribbonnews.com. So it's still the time if you want to sign our petition at deportamas.com. At Ribbon News, we started this petition because we believe that if you are here and you're not a Canadian citizen and you are outside chanting anti-Semitic slogan, making death threats or causing vandalism or any criminal acts, you should be deported back. Go and sign it right now at deportamas.com.